Hi, I am Senior Master Sergeant John Martinez, the Medical Branch Superintendent, and on behalf of the Air Reserve Component Case Management Division, I would like to welcome you to the Medical Continuation Program, also known as MEDCON. Your mission while on MEDCON is to fully participate in your medical treatment plan. This includes attending all appointments, securing referrals, as well as any additional appointments needed. You also need to submit all medical documentation to both your regional case management team and your local unit medical POCs or MEDPOCs. Your team at ARC CMD is your regional case management team, which we will refer to as CMT, which consists of a nurse case manager, case coordinator, and a care coordination administrator. We have several regional CMTs. You received a MyPERS notification regarding this video from your assigned CMT, and should also have received their contact information in the same email. Please remember that most of your questions can be answered by your MEDPOC. We will be going over the letter of acknowledgement you signed when you initially applied to MEDCON. Please take a moment to obtain that letter now so you can follow along as we discuss our expectations. I would recommend taking notes and jot down any questions you may have so when your CMT contacts you, they can answer them for you. Again, welcome to MEDCON. We look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Michael Hicks, Senior A&G Case Manager assigned to Regional Team 2 here at ARC CMD. I'll be going over some basic things about MEDCON and how we can work together to ensure a smooth transition. First things first, it's important to understand that your participation in the MEDCON program is voluntary, which means that at any point you can request to be curtailed or be released from MEDCON. It's also important to understand that you don't need to be on MEDCON in order to receive care for an in-line of duty condition. Something else to bear in mind is that you cannot work a civilian job or be enrolled as a full-time college student while you're on MEDCON. As we stated initially in the welcome message, you must attend all scheduled medical appointments. They are your first priority while on MEDCON and can't be scheduled, rescheduled, delayed, or canceled to perform duty for your personal convenience or to take leave. Failing to attend appointments may lead to a release or curtailment of your MEDCON orders. Our goal is to ensure you receive the care you are entitled to, so please help us to help you. Your military duties are to be performed at your assigned duty station while on MEDCON orders, and they should be consistent with limitations identified on the AF Form 469 profile. Your duties may not necessarily be associated with your AFSC, and that's okay, as long as they are within the limitations of your 469 profile. We will talk a little bit more about your AF 469 profile a little later. If your assigned duty location is not within commuting distance as defined by local wing policy or the JFTR, an alternate duty location may be approved with your commander's written approval. A copy of the template can be found on our MyPERS webpage. Alternate duty locations may include another military installation that is within your commuting distance or even a recruiting station. If you will be reporting to another station, an MFR detailing your plan is required, must be signed by both your commander as well as the hosting commander. You must be in a duty reporting status or on an approved leave status at all times in order to remain on MEDCON. Please reach out to your case management team with any questions. We are here to help ensure you're working well within your limitations and in an area that is conducive for your specific situation. Also, temporary duty or TDY and permanent change of station PCS are not allowed unless related to your medical treatment or IDES processing. If you are not local to your base, understand that MEDCON orders do not fund per diem, lodging, and travel. MEDCON funds your military pay, benefits, and entitlements, but does not cover any per diem. You will need to coordinate with your unit and wing for those requests, as we have no ability to fund travel pay. We welcome you to the program and we look forward to working with you.
Hello again, this is Senior Master Sergeant John Martinez, the Medical Branch Superintendent here at ARC CMD. Let's take a moment to talk about what we need from you regarding documentation. All medical documentation, including military and civilian, must be provided to your case management team organizational box and the medical unit POC every 2 weeks, but not later than every 30 days. This includes, but is not limited to, provider progress notes, comprehensive treatment plans, therapist evaluations, therapist progress notes, imaging reports, other diagnostics, expected recovery time, upcoming appointments, and etc. Failure to provide requested medical documentation is grounds to terminate or curtail your MEDCON orders, since we are unable to determine if you are still eligible for the program. If you are unable to provide the documentation, please notify your case management team immediately so they are aware. We understand some notes may be delayed, but communication is the key. Also, keep in mind if you are being seen at a military treatment facility, you can send those notes from TRICARE online or the Genesis patient portal once they are available. Additionally, if you are being seen at the VA, you can download your notes from the VA blue button. Please send documents in chronological order as a PDF so we are able to open them. We are unable to open any other file types. There are many free apps for your cell phones which will convert documents or pictures to PDF. Please ensure to use your rank and full name when sending correspondence if you'll be using anything outside of your military Outlook account, so we can attach them to your case file and prevent any delays or errors. You must submit all required documentation and updates for MEDCON extensions directly to your case management team's organizational box, no later than 30 days prior to your current MEDCON end date. This will allow your team to prepare your case for extension consideration within ARC-CMD. It is not an automatic process or a guarantee that you will be extended, so please provide a document so we can process your case accordingly and reduce the likelihood of a break in orders. If at any time your case management team or a representative from ARC-CMD requests information, you must submit it to them within 72 hours of the request. This generally happens when your case is not current and is past the 30-day mark, so it is imperative you respond with those documents so that we can get your case back on track and ensure you meet continued eligibility. Now that we have discussed documentation, Staff Sergeant Edgar Trujillo Dominguez will cover leave and what happens if you require an extension.
Hi, I am Staff Sergeant Edgar Trujillo Dominguez, one of the Care Coordination Administrators assigned to Regional Team 1 here at ARC-CMD, and we will be talking about leave and extensions. We encourage you to take leave you've accrued while on MEDCON. Although leave is a unit commander's program, all out-of-local area leave requests require concurrence from the ARC-CMD Division Chief. A memorandum from your treating physician stating that you are safe to travel and that the travel will not interrupt treatment for your LOD condition is required to accompany the MOU. Please keep in mind you can't leave the local area until the approval process is complete, and it will require time. It's recommended you start working this request with your CMT at least 2 weeks out to allow the process to be completed. We will not extend your orders for the purpose of taking leave. You will have to coordinate the leave throughout your tour or cell carryover, if allowed, once your orders come to an end. All leave to include con leave requires you to send our office a copy of your completed and approved Air Force Form 988 so that we can show you are in an approved status for continued eligibility. Please coordinate all leave requests with your case management team. What happens if my MEDCON is coming to an end and my treatment plan is not complete, or my provider feels I need more time before they will release me from their care? Well, you along with your MedPOC will receive an email message 45 days out from your current MEDCON order's end date informing you and asking for your intent regarding your extension. It's important to reply all via email immediately with your intent, whether you are choosing to extend or to be released. Replying all allows everyone to be informed of your intent. If you're requesting an extension, the response should include the reason for the requested extension. Remember that MEDCON is a voluntary program. Without your express request to remain on MEDCON and require documentation, we are not able to keep you on the program. Please understand, and we cannot state this enough, that a late submission of your extension package may result in an administrative break in orders or disapproval of your MEDCON request, leading to an interruption in benefits. Keep in mind, if there is a break in orders, you will lose any prior appointments you had scheduled, as well as any referrals. If this happens, you will be required to obtain them again, which will delay your access to care. If your extension is approved, your unit orders clerk will need to publish your orders immediately so that you can provide a copy to your MPF to update DEERS. It is recommended that you verify with TRICARE that your coverage options haven't changed. Thank you for your attention thus far. I'm going to let Major Diana Mazzata speak about some important showstoppers you should be familiar with.
Hi, I am Major Diana Mazzata, another case manager assigned to Regional Team 1 here at ARC-CMD. We have talked some about the basics and what to expect regarding MEDCON. Now let's talk about some things that are absolute showstoppers. Your Form 469, duty limiting condition, or profile must be current. If you don't have a copy, simply visit the Air Force portal and type in the search bar, My IMR. Once you are there, your IMR status should be displayed and you will see a profile column. Under that, you will find a link for Air Force 469, which will provide you a copy of your profile. In accordance with AFI 10-203, we cannot extend you past the release date on your 469, which can be found under the physical limitations/restrictions box. It will indicate if you have duty restrictions, mobility restrictions, and fitness restrictions. Keep in mind that you must have mobility restrictions to qualify for MEDCON. As you approach the release date, your primary care manager and treating physicians should be monitoring your progress and reviewing your profile to determine if it needs to be renewed based on your response to treatment. If you do not have your profile renewed, you will need to let your case management team know so that they can plan on releasing you from MEDCON. Along with the Air Force Form 469, you should also work with your MedPOC to ensure that any Air Force Form 348s or your line of duties are being routed appropriately. Keep in mind that your MedPOC may require additional information from you to make sure that your LOD is adjudicated appropriately. Your LOD is probably the most important piece of paper for MEDCON, as this is the determination that your injury, illness, or disease did in fact occur while you are on an approved military status. If the LOD is determined to be not in the line of duty, then the conditions on the form are no longer eligible for MEDCON continuation. You must have an in the line of duty determination for any conditions you are anticipating using for MEDCON eligibility. If you have a question regarding your LOD, please contact your MedPOC, as they are the primary point of contact. Another potential showstopper is your ETS or date of separation for the enlisted, or mandatory separation date for officers. You must coordinate with your unit career advisor and local MPF to extend your enlistment contract, as you cannot remain on MEDCON past your ETS or mandatory separation date. It is recommended that you begin this process 60 days before your ETS or MSD date. Keep your case management team updated on the status. Rules change for those members in the Disability Evaluation System, and your PEBLO will assist you in conjunction with your case management team when that time comes. MEDCON orders can be terminated at any time, and should your orders be curtailed, any payments made beyond your authorized order end date may be subject to recoupment by the base comptroller. Discretionary termination of orders is generally the result of the service member not providing requested documentation, such as the Air Force Form 469, the Air Force Form 348, an established treatment plan, and medical documentation. Without these documents, you don't meet eligibility and can be recommended for curtailment. Please understand that it's not our intent to cause any additional stress, but we must work together to ensure expectations are met for continued eligibility for the program. I'm going to pause to allow Lieutenant Colonel Keene to close this brief out.
Hi, I am Lieutenant Colonel Keene, a case manager, also assigned Regional Team 1 here at ARC CMD. Let's wrap this up by talking about some things some people may overlook, and finally, what happens if you're released by your provider from care. First, you must obtain appropriate referrals from an approved TRICARE PCM to see a civilian provider. If you seek medical, dental care outside of military health systems without prior approval, you are doing so at your own risk and may be responsible for the cost of that care. Please keep in mind referrals may take some time to coordinate, and ensure you have it before proceeding with the care. In case you didn't know, all non-LOD elective surgeries procedures must have prior coordination approval through AFRC SGP or ANG SGP. Approval will be worked through your unit MedPOC. Do not proceed with any surgery or procedures until you have received your SG's approval, as you may be responsible for payment and delay care. Some examples are LASIK, carpal tunnel surgery, or cosmetic surgeries. Note, PEBLO handles this once entered into IDES. If you are referred for an MEB, you are responsible for providing your unit MedPOC and CMT with the current status of your MEB. We are required to submit the status when we request extensions on your behalf that require SAF MR approval. So please keep us abreast of your status, as this can sometimes affect the time SAF MR will approve your extension. Your MEDPLC and assigned Pueblo will be instrumental in gaining your updates regarding your MEB. Please keep in contact with them and understand that once you enter into the DES, there will be some changes your CMT will discuss with you. You may be wondering what happens if my doctor releases me from treatment. Well, at any time, if you're released from treatment by a civilian military provider, you will need to immediately notify your MEDPLC and CMT, as your case will need to be reviewed for eligibility. If you are returned to duty, RTD, you must also immediately notify your CMT, unit commander, and unit MEDPLC. You should cease from reporting for duty, as current orders will immediately terminate on that day. We are not notified of any RTD status or any LOD determinations. Any delays in reporting past the RTD date may result in a debt collection by your local comptroller squadron for all the days past the RTD date. Also, keep in mind that a profile with an assignment limitation code, ALC, which restricts a deployment location but still allows you to deploy, is considered a RTD. For instance, an ALC C1 limits a member only to DoD installations with fixed medical treatment facilities but still allows the member to deploy. If you have questions regarding what ALC means, please ask your MEDPLC, as they are well versed in profile restrictions. We encourage you to maintain open communication with your CMT and MEDPLC through all phases of your LOD adjudication and processing of your profile. Lastly, we know you probably get a lot of emails from MyPers, and I will admit, like a lot of people, I am guilty of deleting before reading. We do send a number of very important emails via MyPers, so please be assured to read those messages and that they don't go to your junk folder. We hope this helps and understand our expectations for you. Please expect a call from your CMT to follow up and answer any questions you still may have to complete your initial intake call. Again, welcome to MEDCON, and we look forward to helping you through this process.